And every step that you take is small, but every step that you take has a huge ripple effect on the future of who you are. But if I'm going to be the me of me that is the best of me, I need to know what I'm doing, where I'm going, who I am, where this is right here up here that is the forward way. What is the forward way? The forward way is the I am. I am. And this is the God of you, the I of you. I am. I am going to get this done today. I am tired. Which one of those I ams actually has progress? I am going to get this done today. Even if you don't get it done today, if you keep saying I am going to get this done today, eventually you'll get it done today. Because the I am is a creative force of will. I will be what I am. And that is the best of me, the me of me, the true of me, the proud of me, I am of me. And when you love back yourself in a way that says, oh, little ego, you don't need that from him. You get that from me. You don't need him to justify for you what you think. He doesn't have to agree with you. And he doesn't even have to listen to you. In fact, sometimes you ramble on. And that's why he turns off. That's not his fault. And you don't need him to listen to you. We listen to you all the time. We love what you say and when you ramble on. We know what you're talking about. In fact, sometimes we cause you to ramble. Because you see in us how amazing things are and you just want to talk about it. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So you don't need that from him. You just need us. Okay, are you sure? Are you sure he doesn't have to agree with me? Are you sure he doesn't have to love my spiritual life? No. He's got his own spirit. He doesn't have to go to metaphysical bookstores with you. He doesn't have to own with you. You go own by yourself. The life that is abundant in you comes from the space within you that is God. It's abundant. It's forever. It's enormous. It made the universe. You're connected to it. The universe. Each of you has something very different that you need to hear. Some of you need to hear you're more than your being. Some of you need to hear you are right on track. And some of you need to hear get to work. Because it's time to stand up and be your brightest being. There is nothing about you that is as small as you are being. This is other people around you telling you you're not being enough. That makes you feel small. Because the true you is bigger than that, is more than that, is exciting, and generates all kinds of abundance every single day. This abundance just comes in a thought. In a mere thought that says, what if? And total abundance wakens. The extraordinary part of this is that each and every one of you are a what if You began that way. You began as a what if. You came to this planet as a what if. And each of you asked a very different what if. What if I came to the planet and this time I decided to be a pianist? Would I be able to hear God in the notes? Could I hit a certain note and hear God in it? Could I play a symphony and hear God in it? What if I did that? So let's talk for a moment about nature, what one's nature is. And a woman's nature is something very different from a man's nature. These are complements. These natures are complements to one another. They are not opposites. They are complementary. And the only reason that they were made was so that humans could reproduce, make more of themselves, a self-reproduction, so that God didn't have to make each one individually. They could begin to make themselves. And the more they made themselves in diversity, the more complex the consciousness could be coming through them. And in that consciousness that was complex, they got to play roles, male, female, interchangeably in spirit. So spirit has no gender. And that spirit that is incarnating into a physical being to identify what it is, to figure out what it is, it has a nature. What is its nature is something each individual will figure out in their own experience. What is my nature? What is it natural for me to do? And in that natural thing that it is for me to do, what is the beauty and perfection of it? So when, for instance, Sondra was younger, before she became a photographer, she would stare. She would stare. It was her nature to stare. And she'd get in trouble for staring when she was a little girl. And then when she became an adult, people would always be unnerved when she stared at them. It's her nature to stare. What is your nature? You have a nature that you often got in trouble for when you were a kid because you did it all the time. Whatever it was you did all the time that drove your parents crazy is a good indication of what your nature is. And so in that nature, what is specific to that is also what makes you unique and special. And as you understand that nature, you become true to that nature by saying, this is who I truly am. And in this truly am that I am, how do I become the best of that? How does it become the best of me? So Sondra's stare became the best of her at once through photography. But then, as she started to perfect her spiritual nature, what occurred then is the staring into the depths of another dimension. Multidimensionality is a staring into and beyond physicality. When you stare into and beyond your physical nature, you will see into the being that is inside this physical being that you're looking at in the mirror. You're not the one in the mirror. You are the one who is looking at the one in the mirror. And as the one who is looking at the one in the mirror, you have an expression that is your physical being. This expression of your physical being has certain characteristics that are reflecting in your nature. So a woman's nature then, that is being reflected in this physical way, is that of giving. She is giving to the earth the power of woman. And this power of woman doesn't mean that she has to have babies. That's not the nature of that giving. The nature of that giving is creating from nothing. And the admission of that means, well, maybe in return I have to give, but I don't know how to give. I don't know how to show appreciation. How do I show appreciation? That's the real question. How do I show appreciation? How do I give in appreciation? How do I receive in gratitude? How do I give in gratitude? How do I learn to love that which was given to me? How do I learn to give that which I love? How do I learn to give to the one I love? How do I learn to receive from the one I love? How do I learn to thank the one I love? How do I learn to love the one I love? These are the questions of a living life, a life that lives itself and wants to breathe within that living. But the one that says, I cannot give and I cannot take, because if I take, that means I have to give, is one who is stuck in their own understanding and no one else's. And this is a sad place to be, because it's lonely inside a room that has no doors. Every door is a gift. Every gift is a door. Every door that closes is still a door. And you determine whether you want to open that door or try another door. Because sometimes this door is worn out. It won't give and it won't receive. So you try a new door. This door says, I'll try. I'll do better. I think I can. I'm more than this. I love to see the one I love happy. How do I give to see happy? How do I receive to see happy? And they will find a way to eliminate waste in a way that it is recyclable, fully recyclable, not just recycling, taking all of your recycling together and putting it in a location, and then they pick up that waste and then they turn it into something else. That's not at all what the future is going to be. The future is going to be where you use something that you discard and it goes into the earth and it literally recycles in the earth and turns into soil. That is the future of human waste. In everything that you do that says I am this or I am that, you actually identify an aspect of you that is becoming. Because when the I am states I am happy, it can very quickly turn to I am frustrated, I am sad, I am upset, I am lonely, I have been deserted, which means I am alone. And in this I am that goes from I am happy to the I am of something other, the I am is always a state of becoming. It's not a state of being. Because things that come at you that take your happiness away are simply replacing that. So it's always a becoming. It's never a being. When you say, I am happy because I am in a state of being, and even in the course of that, you get frustrated, lonely, abandoned by the people you need to help you, and know that your happiness comes from your own will of being, the will of knowing who you are as a child of God, and the perfection of that. This is the happiness of the I am. So you can't really establish an I am happy so long as it gets deserted from other I ams. Now the downside of that, and we try to warn this as much as possible, the downside of that is that the soul has no idea how to run your money. It has no idea what finances are. All it knows is when you run that credit card, it feels good. When you buy something, that feels good. That's all it knows. So it'll keep running that card if you don't stop it. And alcohol and marijuana and cocaine and all sex, all kinds of stimulations that give you a moment of joy, that soul, if you let that soul dictate what your life is all about, will send you back over and over again to that very thing that gave it a moment of joy. If you don't give the soul purpose. When it has purpose, it doesn't need these stimulations to keep it enlivened. It's got purpose, it's got reason. It's identified what it is. And as it understands what it is, it becomes more important to itself. And the spirit of this soul then sees the importance starting to come online and starts to charge through that prism in a way that even enlivens the body and gives the body more reason to be. So people who have had these enlightened experiences start to look younger, feel better. Even if they're in pain, they feel better because all that weighed them down is no longer there because the soul and the spirit are aligned. And once that purpose has been discovered, that you walk it, and you walk it with purpose, identifying each step along the way, noticing that each step along the way can be painful, difficult, arduous, but important. Learn to climb mountains. So many people want this to be easy. They want wealth now. They have no idea how to build it. They just want it now. But the only way to build wealth in any way is to master yourself, master your skills, master your way. Become what you were born to be. Slow, sure, on target. Each day, more and more, and be proud at the end of the day what you've accomplished that day. Because that day is the first day of every day of your purpose. Prolong it. Prolong that day. Don't try to get to the end of the day rushing through all the things you have to do as if these things are in the way of your day. Know that these things are your day. These are the things you do today. And this is the way of you today. And every day may be a new way of you. Give yourself the rest that you deserve. And give yourself the work that deserves the rest.